I'm back here in Tampa Bay, right behind us, and with a person who's become one of my really good friends, Mr. Jason Medley, founder, facilitator of the Collective Genius Mastermind. Tell me a little bit about how Collective Genius came about. By the way, I've been a member of this group for going on 5 years, and I'll talk a little bit about why, but I want to hear about your why. Why Collective Genius? Where did that come about?
Long story short, how it came about professionally was, as much as I'd love to tell you the love story, the reality of it was it started out kind of as a side project. Really what happened is I looked up and saw that there was a need for a mastermind in the real estate space, real estate investing space, and I had a group of customers that I recognized were very talented because of the amount of times they were coming to us for money. And here we are 6.5 years later, and now the why has definitely changed and morphed quite a bit in that time. At that time, it was really an ancillary business to my existing funding business. It wasn't kind of my core bread and butter, but it's really about leading an organization that is really driven around having human beings that are as intentional in the other areas of their life, right? As men, as women, as fathers, as mothers, as husbands, as spouses in general, but living with the same level of intentionality and achieving greatness in other areas of your life while still doing big things in the real estate space.
Jason, every industry, I come from dentistry, professional practice, but also in real estate with you and the great people that are here. Every industry, I think, we find people that are like us. They're type A drivers, driven, persevere, will push through, not afraid to work, strong characteristics, right? But as you said, we talk a lot about what makes us better human beings, and it's not all about the numbers game. Numbers are important. We measure progress. It's a scorecard for us in some respects. But what I think you've done such a great job with Collective Genius is you've attracted people that are like you, and we talk a lot about our core values. Core values, what's inherent in what we believe that are key to us. We talk about integrity, we talk about our community, being a go-giver, some of the key principles. You bring that to Collective Genius, and as a result, you bring those kind of people here. And to me, that's what makes Collective Genius special. I'm a part of a lot of other masterminds myself, but I would say you have drawn, because of your character, what you've learned in life, what's important to you, the pathway you've taken, has really brought together a unique group of people. And you and the other leaders on the team have really done an amazing job of putting it together. Jason, what do you think makes up a good mastermind? You're in a number of other masterminds as well. What makes a good mastermind? If you're looking for another mastermind, or people are thinking about what is a mastermind, what makes it good?
I think there's probably two key components that make a mastermind good, and that is number one, the caliber of person. To me, a true mastermind is when you've got folks in a room who are probably already doing big things and already running successful businesses, right? And it also creates the environment, which it really feeds into the second component, which is a community, a mastermind where the community is driven around giving, right? Because if you don't have those smart, intelligent, driven folks who are already running a successful business that are willing to share with each other and truly give to one another, right? Then that's really the fuel to the fire, right? Like David said, there are other masterminds. We were fortunate to kind of be out front, but since then other masterminds are out there. And when I'm talking to our members sometimes, and I'm asking about competition, and like, hey, there's other masterminds out there. You're one of them, actually, right? It's like what you have isn't duplicatable, and that's really because we focus so much on giving.
Now, Jason and I happen to be in a very small group with a guy that a lot of people have heard of, Jay Abraham, Dan Kennedy, two people that a lot of people in business and marketing have a lot of respect for. And one of the questions I asked them recently was, what would be the greatest thing you think you could do to mitigate potential unforeseen risk, marketplace risk, economic risk, natural disasters, things that happen all the time? And Jay Abraham said, strategic alliances. I said, tell me more. He said, people that you can collaborate with, partner with, share in revenue, profits, and also opportunities. To me, that's what Collective Genius is all about, strategic alliances. You talk about, we see in the room, many people doing business. I do business with you, with many other people in the room. Those strategic alliances, which are built on the core values, that's got to be there first. And then we have an ability to co-venture, align ourselves in different ways that the synergy of those alliances is what builds everybody up and makes us all stronger. That's what I love about being a part of a mastermind like the one you have created. It's been so powerful.
Yeah, and to really further what you said, David, like when you talk about strategic alliances and you talk about handling market shifts and downturns and shakes and bakes, we've actually had, there's actually a gentleman, he's been in the CG for like 5 years, Mike Jake, right? He often refers to CG or being in a mastermind as an insurance policy, right? That's literally the term and phrase that he uses is that, because he wants to stay strategically aligned in case things change or things shift. He knows that he's got a place to lean on, right? And we have had, between Collective Genius and Freedom Founders, the relationship, as much as I'd love to say it was intentional, it's really kind of just naturally, organically become just an amazing synergistic relationship, because we take the most talented real estate investors in the country who can produce volume. And then as David educates the folks, you know, the dentists and the docs on your side, that is the best scenario, right? Because when you can take, I mean, I'm 45 years old now, and I've learned that if you have a very, very healthy active income, and then the process can use that to build a very, very healthy passive income, that's the best of both worlds. It's very difficult to build a passive income when you don't have the fuel for it, the money, right? And so I think, you know, with what you've done with Freedom Founders is you've found that avatar. You know, when you're being a previous dentist, you have the folks with strong active incomes who, hey, you do what you're doing. We're gonna help you get that right and dialed in tight, and we're gonna make the real estate side of it passive. And that's where CG comes in and provides the product, if you will, the opportunities to invest and really have that be a passive environment.